Hello, this is Todd Luck, and this is a special unboxing and review of a Masters of the Universe She-Ra figure. This is my first non-Power Rangers toy review, but this is a special occasion because this is the first time since I was a child I have bought a Masters of the Universe figure and I'm about to open it, so I thought I'd just get that on tape. Super 7, which now has the license to make the toys, makes these vintage style Masters of the Universe figures. And so She-Ra is a little different. I'll show you that later in the video. But her original figure is way different. So this is a more cartoon accurate She-Ra. And it's done in the Masters of the Universe style from the 80s. And let me show you how exact they got it. So this is a vintage Masters of the Universe figure. Don't ask me why I have this, but this was found around my house last year, so awesome. So anyway, you can see just how well they replicated the original box. I mean, right down to the exploding planet and the colors and the logo. I mean, it's a little different. You know, you can see a little bit more detail in the modern version with She-Ra, but it's really close. It looks so precise and so good. Even down to the back, where you can see all the different figures that are offered in the line and that fantastic artwork on the back. So, and on the right side you have, the action feature. So I just wanted to show you guys that, just to show, kind of the love that they put into this to, kind of get it exactly like the old action figure packaging. And so she's packaged in there. Normally, in the old figures, that's a mini comic, but it's not a mini comic, it's just like a card or something. But as you can see, if you take a close look, very nice packaging. And you've got, like I said, the other figures that are available. And then She-Ra's action features are explained on here. She holds a shield is an action feature. Oh, when you twist her waist, that's her protecting herself. Okay. We'll give you that. And then there's that really cool artwork at the top too, which was just a signature of the old card backs from Masters of the Universe. So the tragic thing, though, is that this is an exact replica, or almost exact replica, of those old card backs, right down to the fact that blister bubble, or whatever it's called that the figure's in, the plastic, is glued on. So there is no way to preserve that card if you open up the figure. And I bought this to display, so I'm going to open that up. So, as painful as it is as an adult, I am going to try to cut this thing open. Oh gosh. Wait, okay. Maybe if I do it from the bottom. I'm sorry. You're seeing indecision on my part here of how to do this. Or maybe, is this too much? Maybe I shouldn't be trying to cut it. I think I just cut underneath the bubble. You know what? I'm going to go with my old school Masters of the Universe opening skills, which are rusty. Okay, so this is more difficult to open than the original ones I remember from my childhood. So I have had to literally just rip this part off of the card back. So this is the card back now. At least I got the top and the back intact. And then just kind of rip open this part here. So finally this is out. So let's take a look at what we got here. So this is the card that comes with it. It's got this gorgeous art from the animated series with She-Ra and the Crystal Castle. Just looks really beautiful. And then on the back, this shows the transition from the original She-Ra figure to kind of a concept here, and then, you know, the eventual design she had in the actual animated series, which this figure is based on. So that's a nice display piece. Let me get this out of the way. We'll prop this up, and let's take a look at the figure. So here's the figure, and as you can see, they did a pretty good job of replicating the costume from the animated series. Now you'll notice that her tan is way darker than what it is in the cartoon. And so I think what they were doing, and as you can see, they basically took her body from Teela here. I think they were trying to maybe replicate Teela's tan, but it looks even a bit darker than that. I'm not sure if that's showing up on camera, but she's a bit darker than even Teela is. So that's a little bit of a detractor. And plus, because she's modeled on Teela, it's very difficult to get her to stand on her own. It is possible. I've got her doing it right now, but it's pretty difficult. But it is possible. Just keep trying, and eventually you'll find that right balance. Here she is beside of her brother, and as you can see, she is darker than He-Man, which is kind of weird, but not a deal breaker, just something I wish they had gotten a little more show accurate in, you know, the shade of her skin there. As far as her articulation goes, she has arms that move up and down, and obviously she can hold her weapons, as you can see here. And her head should be able to move, but it's really hindered by this hard plastic hair. She does have a soft cape there, and it's kept in place by that hair. And then her legs will move a little bit, and that'll help you hopefully find that one position that she can actually stand in, but, you know, good luck there. And just for fun, before I forget, why don't we show her beside of her vintage figure. Now, the one advantage of the vintage figure is that she does stand a little easier, but she is not show accurate. Actually, normally she does, but now that I'm talking about it, she's rebelling against me. But so you can see the huge difference here. You know, Filmation was developing their own thing, and, you know, kind of went with a completely different look from that original figure. So, you know, the big draw here is to finally get something that looks like the animated series. And I think they really succeeded. And so, well, there are 6-inch figures of her that look like the animated series, but they don't go with your vintage Masters of the Universe. So that's the whole point of this, is to have Filmation She-Ra own a vintage scale. So she also comes with this shield, and it'll snap onto her wrist. Now the thing about the shield is this is the only way it's going to be on her wrist. So it's going to look really funny if she's holding up her arm. The only way it really looks right if she's got her arm down. So unfortunately, unlike a lot of other vintage shields, you can't rotate it. So that was something that you could do on a lot of those old accessories with those figures. Unfortunately, you can't do that here. So that's basically the only way to display it that looks right. Her Sword of Power is a pretty good replica, but that hilt is way, way too big for her. I don't know why it's that big. It's just kind of weird, but it is what it is. And then she comes with another sword that does not have the Stone of Power in it. I'm not sure what the point of that sword is, but you've got it, so it is a display option. She retails for 20 bucks, which is a little pricey for something like this. But you have to remember, Masters of the Universe is not like Power Rangers or Marvel or Star Wars. You can't just walk into a retail store and get an action figure. It's something that unfortunately kind of fell out of popularity and has been really on the adult collector market. So even something like this that's really basic and probably should be a little cheaper is still 20 bucks. But that's not terrible. It is, I still feel like that's an affordable price, especially for something I've been, wanting for 30 years now, to get a show accurate vintage style She-Ra. It's cool that, this has actually happened. I really love the new animated series, and I hope we get, figures out of that too, that are affordable. That would be awesome. An action figure line for the new series. Make it happen, Mattel and or Super 7, please. So anyway, that's all I got to say. Overall, I think I'd recommend the figure. It's got a couple detractors to it, but that everything in life does. But overall, this is a figure I've been waiting 30 years for, and I'm not disappointed by it. Like and subscribe for more videos, and until next time, I'll see you later.